All part of the fun, I guess.
It still says check video cable.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Hang on, everybody. We're coming.
We're coming. Ellie, I don't need help. There it goes. All right. So I'm going to move this back over and move this.
Dad does not need help right now.
And this is all the fun
He does not.
that you get doing a live show there. Excellent.
He doesn't.
All right. So there we go. That's all part of the fun. All right. I think we're about ready. Are you ready? Okay. I think I'm ready. Let's turn this on so the people can see stuff. And we will go with there. Ah, I do have to make an adjustment. We are too bright.
That is no bueno.
We are bleaching out. Advanced 25. Save.
Oh, yeah, that's not pretty.
Yeah, that's not pretty. Okay, so there we go. That'll be better. And I will go back to this. No, I don't want this. Ah. Where did my show go? Ellie.
I don't know.
I do not know either. Where did my show go?
There it is.
That's better. Thank you, sweetheart, for Ellie the Wonder Dog. You can see her nose right there.
She's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing and why aren't you playing with me? So, yeah, hey, folks, welcome to the patron pre-show for the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. Glad you're here. And let's see, I'm going to be turning this off over here. Chrome still doesn't want to play nice with that for some reason. I do not know why. But so I will use some other browser of choice and go with that. So, hey, folks, welcome. Welcome to the pre-apocalypse, which is
biggest letdown ever.
Yeah, because right now, let's see if I can bring that up. Just for
it's still saying Category 1.
I heard tropical storm.
I heard Category 1.
Well, I heard it was going to bounce off and then come back and eat us. So
yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, they really don't know. So if I put out Irma track models here and bring that up.
There you go, that middle one.
Well, actually, this is the one
that you want.
That I'm thinking about. I want to stop it because I don't want it to load here. Because otherwise, it plays music that I don't want it to play. All right.
Kind of catchy music there.
Yes. I have the hurricane, blah, blah, blah. Where is all the good stuff? I hate those. You go to all these things and they got all their YouTube stuff.
That's why I go to like weather.com and.
Well, let's do that. So I will go to weather.com. There we go.
A scan is done and no issues were detected.
Yay.
Yay. Now go away.
Now go away. So I'm bringing up the screenshot here. And so you can see what we're talking about. So right now, this is weather.com that we're on. And the latest.
That's a video.
That's a video.
Yeah.
But they're showing.
There's a one in the center.
Jose's not even going to come close.
No, it's not. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. And of course, that doesn't have what I want either. So
track Irma.
Where's track Irma? Let's try track Irma.
It shouldn't be this difficult.
There we go. That's what we're looking at. Okay. Good. Nice. So yeah, we
and you can zoom in too with the little plus.
We are thank you. We are in North Kakalaki. And so we are actually, let's see, there's Atlanta, there's Virginia. We're right about here.
Mm-hmm.
We're right on the edge now, but we're on the right side, which I always thought was the worst part of the storm is on the right. And so, yeah, we got ourselves a hurricane coming at us. And it looks like, what do they got here now? They've got like green. So it's still tropical storm, 39 miles an hour to 73 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida's going to get nailed.
Yeah, Florida's going to get nailed. And I do sincerely
hope
hope
that
that
they,
everybody is safe and in a safe place.
yeah,
And because really,
it's,
this is no joke for Florida.
yeah, you guys got to really
I
take
think
it
it's going to hit them at a 4.
right. And so that's all these that they've got coming in here. You know, even when it hits Florida, they're talking 130-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes,
So,
which is a category 4.
right, and then 45
Yeah,
mile an
we're
hour winds.
just going to get a wind and rain event,
Yeah,
which is really not good
yeah, but it's
either.
still a
But it's
whole
still
lot
better
better.
than what they're doing.
Yeah, so we hope the people in Florida are, and in
Yes,
South Carolina, because you're still going to get some stuff there.
and the Caribbean,
Yeah,
I just don't even know what to say.
yeah,
They
it's
have
been
just
something.
been destroyed.
Yeah. So, anyways, make sure that you get yourself where you need to be,
Yeah,
and don't be a hero,
nope,
and
because
just
it's
get where
not
you're
worth
at.
it.
So, it's interesting. Today, it was very difficult for me personally to go out and think of a hurricane because it was like 74 out
Yeah, it
with
was really nice out.
sunny and
Yeah,
it's
it was nice.
gorgeous. Yesterday, going to Walmart and a couple of the neighboring stores around here, the Walmart wasn't bad, but the standard,
That's because
uh,
they didn't have anything left.
yeah, the the water was gone, the milk, eggs, and bread was gone. Flashlights, there were a couple spare ones that you had to rub two sticks
Yeah,
together to
those
get
were
them
the
to work.
cruddy ones that nobody else wanted.
Nobody else wanted. Forget lanterns, though we did hit a couple of little honey pots that we didn't expect,
Mhm.
and actually got a couple of lanterns. But we got like 4 cases of water, and we got
Yeah, and I almost had to cut some people for that. I had it in my cart because I worked last night,
mm-hmm.
and I had all 4 cases and 2 lanterns in my cart that I was diligently watching because that's my
It
cart.
said sold right on it.
It did, and they don't care. And I had 2 gentlemen. No, there was 2 or 3. I'm just standing there talking, and they had their hand on the resting on the cart.
Like this is about to disappear.
You better pack a lunch, son, because that is my water, and I will cut you. So yeah, I kept watching them, and they'd look at me. I'm like, I got all night, son. And eventually, somebody said something about. They asked me if I got my water. I said, "Yep, it's right there in my cart." And they looked at me, and I'm like, don't even think about it.
Yep. Well,
And
didn't
did I tell
somebody?
you what? The guy tried to buy it.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, he walked up. He said, "Is that water for sale?" I said, "No, sir, that's mine." He goes, "But no, what did I just say?"
Owned by.
I'm like,
property of.
what do I have to do? So first chance I got, I ran it out to my car and put it in there. I'm like, geez, I gotta beat people off for this stuff.
Yeah, I know it.
We were
something.
rationing them 5 cases a person.
Yeah, because you were saying somebody was buying 16 of them at a
One
shot.
lady bought 16.
Wow.
Well, in her defense, which I don't make a habit of doing in retail, she was buying for an elderly lady as well who couldn't get out of the house.
Yeah, but 16
I'm like,
cases.
You need 8 per household?
That should last you about a month.
Like, y'all won't need water for the rest of your lives.
I mean, as it is,
Depending
we now
on how
have.
old she is, never.
Yeah, but it's like as it is, we've got 4 cases of 32 bottles of.
Yes.
Of stuff. So.
But I'd rather have it and not need it.
Right, and who knows? The hurricane may suddenly do a right hook or a left hook and move right into us and eat Raleigh. I'm just saying, you never know with hurricanes.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. It's one of those things. But yeah, Jose.
I'm not going to rush out and get some more extra food though.
No, I think we actually have enough, and actually we need to over the next 4 or 5 days we need to cook all the stuff that we have just in case.
Yeah.
And go there. But that's part of the thing, you know, when people go, oh my God, how can they live there with hurricanes and blah, blah, blah.
How do you people up north live with snow all the time?
Yeah, you got blizzards and
yeah,
what
I mean,
have you.
Your lake effect snow. Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I've visited Rochester, and after lake effect snow.
Yeah, you've got
No, thank
California
you.
that has the big fires and the earthquakes. You've got
Yeah,
Texas that's either underwater or on fire.
yeah.
Everybody's got their stuff.
And don't forget the tornado alley.
And don't forget Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
So everybody's got something. The kicker is I've been here 10 years.
Yeah, you have yet to go through a major
I
hurricane.
have had Cat 5 hurricanes um, just off the coast spinning and people going,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's cool."
You're like a bubble.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, I think I've been through several tropical depressions,
Mm-hmm.
tropical storms. I've
Mm-hmm.
been through a couple of category 1 hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one that I went through was a 2, but I can't remember if it was actually a 2
Yeah.
when it hit us.
See, rookie.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. We're
Yeah.
here in the place that gets hit with the most direct hits of hurricanes, and I've had nothing in 10 years. So yeah.
Yay!
Oh,
Oh, I didn't get my order in yet for the jellyfish coin.
yes.
Let me do that now.
Yeah. Oh, Starcatcher put an order in through Coins and Pins. I hope you got your discount. And for the blue um, jellyfish geocoins, which we gave away. Actually, somebody's going to win today, is it not?
Yes.
That is going to win the green one that we're giving away from coinsandpins.com. And they're cool. They're jellyfish style geocoins. So
I'm
they've got the
leaving the chat room
geocoin
for a moment.
and they've got 6 or 8 sets of beads underneath them. They're rather cute. They're kind of neat, kind of unique, if anything, that you can go
Look
with.
at that. Okay, they have green and blue left.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want? Which one
Me?
should we get?
Well, that's your choice, honey. It's you go for that one. You make your choice. Decisions,
I
decisions.
know. I like this. I need your card.
I don't have it.
Are you kidding?
No, I don't have it. I don't have my wallet on. I changed my pants, so it's in the.
That means I'm going to have to go get mine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. So, anyways, that's how that's going. So we got the Hurricane Irma or whatever is going to be left of her by the time she gets done going through the lower eastern part of the United States. You just prepare. You get water. We've got candles. We've got lanterns. We've got batteries. We've got food. I guess the number one thing that people use for food is crackers when they go and stock up on. I actually have a couple of boxes of extra crackers, and I've got chips, and I've got now the other ones. You can see the true hurricane party people because they buy like 4 or 6 cases of beer.
Oh, yeah.
Because if the power's going to go out, they're not going to care. So, that's the way that they do it. But you just get prepared and you get what you need. And if it does what I think Irma's going to do, and it's just going to peter out.
Now I'm using my coupon.
There you go. And then you go with that and you're fine. You get the power's out. The last time we did it, the power was out for.
I can't.
Why not?
It said it's reached its limit.
Your guest checkout has reached its limit?
I can't use the coupon because the coupon has reached its limit.
I see. Well, we'll have to talk to Mr. Aaron about that.
Yes.
And we'll find out what's going on with that. So, anywho.
My apologies.
So anyhow, that's all it is, and it's one of those things where you just go through and you prepare, you make sure everything's set. You don't do like most people do here, and they get all the perishables. They get the eggs, they get the milk, and when the power goes out, that's the first thing that's gonna go with the power. So you don't want to get perishables, but you get crackers, peanut butter and jelly, that kind of thing, and you're fine. You may have to live on it for a couple of days, unless you're lucky like us, where we've got a Sheets by us. Sheets is a gas station that is amazingly cool. They sell really good quality hot food, where you can get all your standard junk food, fast food stuff, and go that route. And the last time we had a power failure for 3 days, they were the only place open within like 10 miles that you could even get to. So it was a little oasis that we just went there and charged up our batteries and stuff like that. So yeah, you gotta go through and just be ready for it. Let's see other things we had going on. Um, what do you think of the new updated geocaching guidelines? Big deal? No big deal? I'll tell you what, there were a couple of things out there uh, that really got me going with that one. I'm going to see if I can bring this up here. They've got the blog, and I'll bring it up so you guys can see it too. If you're listening to the audio, I'll try to be, as descriptive as possible with it. But let's see. You got your discount?
No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it said it was expired or reached its limit or something like
Okay.
that.
Well, I'll talk to Aaron about that. Okay. So good stuff. And so this is the updated geocaching hiding guidelines that just came out. Now, Geocaching HQ, their big thing was, and it says right here today, Geocaching HQ, and this was like a couple of days ago, is releasing updated guidelines for hiding geocaches. The main goal of the update is to make the geocache hiding guidelines easier to read and to understand. And here's what they've done to achieve that goal. They improved the guideline layout, made text more clear, reduced number of words by 15%. What did they do? Take out all the words the. Um, Move supporting material to help center. Added some changes or clarifications to specific guidelines, and we'll see below some of those. In addition to the text updates, the page got a facelift, including better navigation. Community volunteer translators are currently translating the new guidelines text into 24 languages. As these translations become available, the guidelines will be updated in those languages as well, which I think is awesome. So they're doing good stuff. They're trying to clean up things and go with there. But there are a couple of them that raised an eyebrow for me.
Hmm.
And let me put in what they have on that. It said one of the ones that they have in here is caches, for example. Caches must be accessible. Well, duh. Make sure to hide your cache for the long term where it is available most of the week so it can be found without contacting anyone. Check out the new section in the guideline text about accessibility. And when I was looking at some of this, I'm like, well, what do you mean you want to hide it so that you don't have to contact anybody?
What?
And the long term stuff is, of course, hide your cache to have a long life. Temporary cache is intended to stay active for fewer than 3 months, will not be published. Caches intended to move will not be published. Availability, caches must be available most of the week. So let's face it, there are a lot of parks out there that you can hide a geocache in, but they're only open during the daylight hours.
Right.
That kind of thing. So that I can understand that. No contact required. This is the one I kind of went, huh? And it said caches cannot require geocachers to contact the cache owner or anyone else. Now,
Okay, now that's required.
right.
Now, to me, that would depend on the type of cache because Earth cache or a mystery cache may require pictures that you have
Well,
to
an Earth cache
send.
would, but
You know what I mean, though?
yeah, yeah. No, this isn't like it's an ALR where it's a requirement.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know why they're trying to clarify that because people aren't allowed ALRs anyways.
Yeah.
And then to have it just cache cannot require geocachers to contact the cache owner. So in other words, I'm not going to give you the final until you call me or anyone else. Well, what about phone a friend? How the heck's that work with that?
I don't know. But that's not a requirement, though.
No, it's not. It's not.
So
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
So maybe I'm misreading it. I don't know. Maybe
I think you're reading too
I'm
much
putting
into
too
it.
much into it,
Yeah,
but
I think so.
that's how that one goes. The next one definitely is going to raise an eyebrow, and I'm going to tell wife Amy to chain herself down, and I'm just going to leave that right there.
My order has been put in.
Okay, so your order's been put in.
Okay.
Do not bury. Now, do not bury geocaches either partially or completely. You must not create a hole in the ground to place or find a geocache. That has been the rule forever with geocaches. If you need a tool to hide the geocache, don't do it. And tool meaning shovel, stake, axe,
Okay.
whatever. The only exceptions, and this is the new part to it, is if a property owner gives explicit permission, which you must provide to the reviewer and state on the cache page. See the regional geocaching policies for this in your region, and they get into some really major stuff with this. I mean, right down to parks, city. Like, let me drill down here. Here's the regional geocaching policies wiki. I'm going to go to the Americas. I'm going to go to North America. I'm going to go to the United States. I'm going to go to North Carolina. And then it breaks it out by cities, counties, state parks, national forests. They really get into what the regional geocaching policies are. And I think it's great that Geocaching HQ puts this out. And it gives all the main restrictions and things you can have. Doesn't necessarily break down the burying part, but it's one of those things that they do provide. And my question is, all right, so it says only exception is if you get explicit permission. Does that mean an email? Does that mean written? Does that mean anything but verbal? Does it mean verbal? Which you must provide to the reviewer. Great. So you have to put that in your review notes and state it on the cache page. This is a buried geocache, and it's put in here with permission of the landowner.
What kind of permission do you need to bury a cat? Why would you even do that?
Well, this is the thing. Now this is going to open up a whole can of worms, because there are going to be people out there that are going to try to bend the rules, and they're going to be like, well, permission, I got it from my Uncle Fred who said. And the other thing is they give no stipulations of burying. And what I mean by that is, can you bury it 10 feet under the ground? Can you bury it 6 feet under the ground? Can you bury it what are the stipulations of something being buried?
And like somebody else brought up in the chat room, post for a birdhouse.
Right. Now there's always
that is not the cache.
All right. There are people where the debate has gone by forever. Right. That is the host for the cache.
Exactly.
Right.
And there has to be a spot for it to go. The cache is actually attached to that post.
Right. And there are people out there, there are reviewers out there that'll sit there and say, well, you had a PCP pipe that you used a stake for it to sit on, and that stake went in the ground that's burying. There are people, there are ones out there that
they really need another
much...
hobby or something else to think about, because
but it is people do get that crazy with this.
That's technical. That is way too much.
But now, if you've got explicit permission from the landowner, you can bury it. What the heck?
There is no way in the world.
That's going to open up such a can of worms. I don't even know why.
That whole situation, there's no way that would not make me angry.
Yeah.
The fun factor would just be gone, and I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. Are you supposed
to use a metal detector to find the thing?
I know. Well, I mean, if it's noted in there,
right,
that you need that tool.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
That's one thing.
In a case like that.
God.
Yeah, there you go. Basement for a new house.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can see some things like, in a cellar or things like that where you have to go down underneath to get it.
But that's not digging. That's not burying.
Not in a sense.
To me, that's not even burying.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, because you haven't dug a hole.
Right. Fair enough.
And
there's a lot of geocaches out there like that are underground.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yes.
But don't bury it. My God.
Yeah, but so people are going to do it. I think that's just going to open up a whole can of
that's
worms.
Very true.
What
may also apply to fake sprinkler heads.
Yeah, I mean, same type of thing.
I mean, you're going to take out a ton of different.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and this always opens up a big debate.
I digress.
Always
again
opens
over
a big
this.
debate.
I don't know why you even bring it up.
Well, it's because they just updated the rules saying you can do it. So that's why I did it. So yeah, that's part of the stuff that they've got going on with this. There's a bunch of other ones. We're not going to go all through that. I'm just saying, if you get a chance, in our show notes, we'll have the blog link that you
Oh,
can
that was so
go
important. Don't damage property.
and yeah. I mean, a lot of these are like, well, duh,
You would
but
think.
there's a lot of them you're just gonna have to go through and check them out because it raised it raised an eyebrow or two. I guess the other one that Chad Task Force 27 at Geocaching Podcast last night kind of got a little ruffled over. He has several geocaches which are magnets,
Mhm.
and the
To me, that's okay.
okay, and so what happens is the back of the magnet is the log.
Okay.
All right, in the guidelines, you can't do that
Why?
because they said so.
But
I'm
why?
just saying.
But because I said so brings up my childhood, which makes me very upset.
But the thing
I
that
want to know why.
they reiterate in this update is choose container wisely. The container must hold the logbook. The ideal container is waterproof. And to avoid confusion or suspicion, if your cache is found by a non geocacher, follow these tips wherever possible. Label your container as a geocache. Choose a transparent container to show that the contents are harmless. Include instructions for hiders
Finders.
or finders, I should say. Do not place containers that could be perceived as bombs and other dangerous
Okay.
items.
Seriously?
If
They
the
blew up a banana in a tree.
if the container has military markings, permanently cover them or remove them. I mean, that's how it goes. But the thing that they say about the logbook, here's the specifics on it. For all physical caches, there must be a logbook for geocachers to record their visit. The logbook must be physical, replaceable, easy to sign, and enclosed within a container.
Okay. Examples are a notebook or a paper scroll.
Right.
Now, that still means nanos
Yes, because there's a logbook
because
inside
there's
a
a
nano.
logbook inside, a physical
Right.
logbook inside.
Right.
So, yeah.
But Taz has several magnet hides that he owns that he's like, I'm not taking them down.
Nope. I don't blame him.
Yeah. So, anyways, because there's a lot of people out there that have reflector hides and all sorts of
Yeah.
things that,
Yeah. And I don't know why that's not okay.
yeah. So there are tons of stuff that they updated. Be sure to check out the geocaching blog for the geocaching guidelines, and we'll have a link in our show notes. Thank you, Ellie. We have a link in our show notes for you to check out. So lots of stuff to go over. And just thought I would bring up a couple of them just for discussion to see how people felt about it. All right, good stuff. I think we are about ready, and let me get the thing set up here for the overlay. Da, 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 da.
Why is
And
she whining?
I don't know. You said she went out,
She
right?
did go out.
Okay. Maybe she knows something we don't know.
Should I go let her out?
No, I think she'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, so let me start this up, and if not, we'll have to have her go out of the room. All right, folks, sit back, relax, get your favorite libation, your favorite snack. The GeoSnippits Reboot podcast is coming at you right about now. Well, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. I'm your host, Andy Headhardhat Smith, and it is September 7th, 2017, and I think we've grown a tail. If you're looking on the video, you can see the shadow of our new mascot, aka Miss Ellie, who is now getting underneath the table. And all part of the fun. She likes being in here when she likes being with her peeps, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants attention. We've been gone all day and that kind of thing. So if you see a little black nose pop up right down here like that, that's her just getting some loving I'm just saying. So, anyways, yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. We're glad you're here. We've got Hurricane Irma heading up the East Coast, and we are right smack in the middle of it. Probably about Monday or so. It's not going to be. It may not even be a hurricane. It might be Hurricane One, but at worst, it's going to be a tropical storm
Hmm.
that's going to come up. Is the forecast? So the way that the track went, devastated all the islands that they usually do. Is going to hit Florida, I think tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow.
No, I think it's Saturday.
Saturday.
I
Okay.
think.
And
Yeah.
it's going to hit the southern tip of the Keys of Florida and then shoot straight north.
They've already evacuated most of Florida.
Yeah. And then it's going to go. They've got the track going actually a little bit westerly, so it was going to
Hmm.
hit us and go directly over Raleigh. Was one of
Hmm.
the predicted paths that they had. Of course, there were seven thousand three hundred
I know.
sixty-four suggested paths, but one of them actually. For a little bit was the prime choice of going straight up through the Carolinas, including right over us here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So now the track's going slightly west, and it's the folks like where Dave DeBear lives
Hmm.
out
Yeah.
that way, Lenore,
Yeah. They're
and
going to get a lot of flooding.
Charlotte and things like that. So they
Yep.
may get a bunch of flooding because that's up in the mountains
Yep.
and go that way. So we're prepared as we're going to be for
Oh, we're
whatever
fine.
comes along. If we do lose power for a day or two, we'll be fine. I don't expect more than that, but with these type of weather situations, you just don't know.
No, you don't.
It could stall and just drop rain for a couple of days. I mean,
Which would be
which
very
we
bad.
had last time. So yeah,
Very bad.
not the greatest, but that's how that goes.
Not as bad as some. So.
No, let's see. We went for a first to find a couple of days ago and ended up with a DNF. And the nearest we can figure, it's kind of
I know
interesting.
where it is now.
Right. We went for this. We went for this first to find.
I still want
It
to
the
get it.
sun was just going down. The mosquitoes were starting to come out, and of course, wife Amy is a mosquito magnet when it comes to things like that. And then we started looking in the area right at ground zero, and some of it just didn't make sense.
Hmm.
It was by a church. The area that ground zero was way off to the left, and it was actually in the center of a fenced in area for a shed. And I'm like, this just doesn't feel right when it comes to stuff like that. So we looked all over the area, and you know how you get when you're looking for a DNF, or for a DNF, when you're looking for a first to find, you spread out the area, keep looking bigger, wider. You know, it could be over here, it could be over there, that kind of thing. And just no luck. And Amy's like on the other side of the property. She said, I'm going to go check the gazebo because gazebos are always a prime
Yeah.
area
There
for
was
stuff
nowhere
like that.
for her to hide there.
Right. So nothing there. And then she started looking down this back path that went in kind of a wooded area. And that was way off. Like we're talking like almost 600
Ellie,
feet
stop.
from where ground zero was said to be.
Ellie, stop.
And she goes through and she's checking out. And then we started discussing afterwards because the fun factor was completely gone.
Yeah, I was itching. I
She
was
was itching.
irritated,
Yeah.
and
And
I just want to go home.
we were thirsty and we were just done. And as we're going, one of the hints just sit there and said something about uh,
A church
an
and
angel,
an angel, or at a cross.
a church across and an angel, and you'll find it. And I didn't see a cross anywhere. Matter of fact, I actually wrote Ellie. I actually
She was itching.
I actually wrote to the cash owner and said, "Hey, give me a clue because this just isn't making sense." She was out of town and wrote back afterwards and said, "Hey, I checked it out and redid the chords and all the rest of that." Well, after that, I was like not even really interested anymore. And it was one of those things. Amy had said, "Well, I saw a cross." And
And
I'm like, where? Because I
yeah,
didn't see a cross where I was looking, where ground zero was at all.
well, ground zero was way on the other side, but
Right.
There was a huge cross, a little worship area it looked like,
Yeah.
and beside the cross on the ground, it looked like a ceramic angel or a
Okay.
concrete angel.
All right.
And I'm like, no, that can't be it.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's got to be
It's
it.
got to be it.
It's got to be.
So,
I should have touched it. I
and
didn't. Shame on me.
that
But
is the number one thing with geocaching. If you suspect in any way, shape, or form, your spider sense is tingling and saying, I wonder,
uh-huh.
that's when you check it out.
Yep.
So, anyways, we didn't get the first to find on it, but it was just one of those situations where it was like, wah wah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no.
still want to go back and get it
Yeah, we'll have to go
just
back and get it
for
just
principle.
just for getting it, but that's all part of the fun. Anyways, so how can you watch the show live and generally get in touch with us? We love having you here when we do the show, and all you have to do is watch the live feed and join us in the chat room by going to www.geosnippets.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 o'clock we do the pre-show. We also have our social media links on the website, including for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So all you have to do is click on subscribe, and anytime we do a podcast, it will come out in your subscribe area, and you can check whatever we're up to each and every week with relative ease. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your questions, your comments, or suggestions by calling 919-341-9519, or you don't even have to worry about the phone charges, especially for our friends overseas. Just go to geosnippets.com, and on the right side of the screen, select the send voicemail tab and record your voicemails via computer or tablet or mobile phone. So that way now our viewers can do it without any cost atoned to that. It's really great. We love hearing voices from you fine folks to go with the names. And so please do it. It's free. Give it a try.
Okay. We do have some feedback
All right.
from
Yep.
our infamous PR manager, Chris Ronan.
Uh-huh.
It says, hello, everyone. Today we released the updated geocache hiding guidelines with the goal of making the guidelines easier to read and understand. In addition to an improved layout and 15% fewer words, woohoo, we moved supporting material to our help center and added some changes or clarifications to specific guidelines. The geocaching blog has much more detail about the updated guidelines. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Yours in caching.
Yep. And that's Coach Rock Shock, aka Chris Ronan, PR manager
Mm-hmm.
for Geocaching HQ. And we'll have a link in the show notes to the blog and where you can get the actual guidelines. Oh, bless you. And that way you
Oh,
can check them
thank
out
you.
yourself. You can also listen to last night's episode of the Geocaching podcast where we went over in pretty good detail there all the updated things that they did with the guidelines. There's some doozies in there. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show, and some that kind of make you go, hmm. So check them out and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from it. Just send your feedback as always. If you've got comments, you've got questions about or things that we talked about the show, things that you'd like to ask Amy or myself, uh, any milestones that you have that you want to bring up, just send it to us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Just put feedback in the subject line and just let us know what you go. You can also go to geosnippets.com and click on there, and there's a place that you can go and send in feedback as well. So either way, we do appreciate it. We're running a little low on feedback, so if you can send some in, we would greatly appreciate it for future shows. And it's really simple. And again, we love hearing from you fine folks and putting it with the names and faces
Yeah, we
that we
haven't
know.
had Sad Amy in a while.
We haven't really had Sad Amy in a long time. If we
That's
don't
good.
have any feedback, it's Sad Amy time. And so, yeah, just saying, dude, we're close. We're right there on the cusp. So send some in. We greatly appreciate it. Just
Ooh.
ask Amy a question. I love seeing her expression when she reads the show notes at the time that we start to do the show and go,
Yes, because that's when I find out.
yeah, that's when she finds out. So anyhow, let's move on to our GeoSnippits Reboot podcast geocaching poll of the week. And this one was interesting. Went out last week. And I'm going to bring this up for wife Amy. I love the little treat that is in there, and I'll explain that one in a sec.
All right. When you go geocaching in a new area, do you go out of your way to eat at a new place or try one of the local delights?
Yes.
And 48% said, no, I don't. And 52% said, yes, I do.
Wow, that's I don't know if that's shocking or not. I
Eh,
think a lot of people now. Does that mean most of them just kind of hit the drive-through of the known
probably.
and go that way
Or
instead
they
of
take snacks or
or
something
take
with them.
snacks or something,
Hmm.
and the other ones go out because I know Scott Burks loves doing that,
Yeah.
going to a new place and
They
finding a
try.
restaurant.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing the stuff that we've
Put a
run
little hole in
across.
the wall.
Yep. So, anyways, the picture that I put out with the poll is of a place that does snowballs, and snowballs is shaved ice, and then it's covered with liquid sugar,
Yes.
and then mine actually was named Frogger, so it had like I think it was pineapple and blueberry, and then a gummy frog on top. So absolutely sugar delight. But on a hot evening or day or whatever, they're awesome, and
Hmm.
I never had one before, so that was cool. I tried it out, and that was it. All right, so we put out a poll each and every week. The new one's going to be going out tonight, and you can go to geosnippets.com, and on the right side of the screen there's a whole area that tells you how you can be a part of the different polls that we have, and also how to get into our GeoSnippets Reboot podcast poll of the week collection, where we literally have 100 or more different polls that you can binge on. And for people that love to do it, and I know they're out there, just go through, and it's all unique individual questions that you can give your 2 cents worth, and we love hearing about it. So check that out on geosnippets.com. Excellent, excellent stuff. Cool stuff with that. I think it's time to move on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by gxproxy.com and gxproxy.eu for our friends in Europe, for cachers serious about leaving their mark. And I'm really getting excited. I'm waiting for a status from Beverly about gxproxy.com. Their warehouse is being filled back up and getting to go. And the last time I saw a blurb somewhere on Facebook where they were saying they're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to
Yeah,
see how
she's been
things,
making wooden
all
stuff
sorts of
and
stuff.
yeah,
So I'm kind of curious to
and
hear from
glass.
her of all the different things that they've got going for gxproxy.com, and we'll see what's going on.
All right. And also by coinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. We're going to have to talk to Aaron about the promo code, but
Yes.
hopefully we'll get that back up and running soon.
Yes.
And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale. We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, please be sure to go to our GeoSnippets websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. He'll set up the promo code for X number of years, and then after a while,
It
it
expires.
expires. So
Yeah,
we'll make sure
that's
that
probably
Aaron
all
knows
it
about it,
is.
and they'll just turn it back on.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. All right, good things. Moving on. Yeehaw! Yep, yep, yep. GeoSnippets Pinterest Roulette. GeoSnippets Reboot Podcast, episode 215. Okay, so every once in a while you get into situations where you go to do a show and you have like 3 bullet points. We do that with Geocaching Podcast all the time because you just pick something, pick a subject and talk and things like that. Tonight was one of those ones where we're getting the show stuff ready and it's like, okay, well, we haven't done Pinterest in a while. Why don't we come up with a unique way of going through and just seeing what's up with geocaching and Pinterest? Because I know the guys are rolling their eyes. I know the girls are going, oh, Pinterest is so cool because it's interesting.
Mhm.
It really is a bevy of really cool information that you can get about just about anything you can think of, really, to go out and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up on the side, and we're going to have a special friend help us decide what uh, what we're going to look at. So this is basically this. We have the Pinterest page up in the search area. I simply put geocaching. And you can start right off of that and just see tons and tons and tons of things. And we're just going to look and pick
Mhm.
what different things that catch our eye with this. But we also have as our randomizer Google Home uh, does things where you can ask Google Home to pick a certain set, pick a number from a range, and it'll do it as well. So we're going to do something with that. Now, if you look on the top of the page, and again, for the people that are listening to the podcast, we're going to be as verbal about things as of what we see as we can. So we're looking at the Pinterest page right now, and just underneath where you put geocaching in the search area, it automatically brings up a wide selection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to see if I can get this go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It just goes on and on. So let's just pick 25 different sections that we're going to go. And then we're going to allow, oops, as he pushes the button for it, we're going to allow Google Home to select which category that we're going to go via number. So let's see if this works. And okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 25.
All right. 22.
All right. So I just like the little.
She always goes to the tail end of whatever it is.
Oh.
Have you noticed that?
All right. So let's just do uh let's do Muggles because I think that's 22 right there. So anyways, we're going to pick the different type of things that you can go for and whatever catches our eye when it comes to things like this.
Mhm.
And this one, of course, everybody can relate to that you go for.
Yes.
And basically, it's a skeleton sitting in the car meme that says "waiting for Muggle to leave."
Yep.
How many times does that happen? Where you sit there and you've got your favorite spot,
And you're like, go away.
it's under the bench that
They're sitting on.
they're sitting on, and then they start eating lunch, or then they start feeding the
That's when you go up
birds.
to them and say, "Excuse me, can I look under this bench really quick? It won't take me but a second."
I like using
That won't weird them out at all.
Not one bit. I like using the Dave DeBear approach to people when it comes to those type situations.
Does it make them go away?
Yes. You invade their personal space.
Oh, people do not like
yes.
that.
If they're sitting on the bench, what you need to do
Just
is
sit really close
sit
to them.
like right next to them and just sit. And if they're like reading, then just turn your head and look at them and just look. And if they start looking back, smile. I mean, you don't have to be goofy. Just smile. Next thing you know, they're closing the book and they're putting their bird food away, and they for some reason leave. Perfect.
Creepy man on the bench
next to me.
Right.
Yes. Lots of cool stuff. Gnome holes. I love these. Nothing brings a smile back to me. What we're looking at is a little. It's a rock that has obviously a hole behind it, and somebody took the time to make a gnome hole door for it. Says it's got little leaves on it. It's got hinges. It's got number 71, which I think is awesome. And you can go through and usually, hopefully, find only the geocache and not something else sleeping behind it.
Ugh.
Just saying.
Ow, ow, ow.
Yes.
Stop.
Sorry.
No, not you.
Oh.
The dog.
The dog is underneath. Yeah, so, and like they said in here, just needs to be far enough from muggles. But nothing brings a smile to my face more than going in and finding like a ceramic rabbit or a turtle or anything like that that's just unexpected, and it's out in the middle of nowhere in the woods where they're not going to find it. So cool stuff. I love stuff like that. Let's see. Oops, I hit the thing here. Let me bring that back up. I knew I should have hit back. All right. Back to muggles.
I'm stepping on her foot.
All right. So we're only going to do a few minutes on some of these each one. So we'll pick a different subject. Aren't Amy, I'm going to let you choose.
What do you mean?
You can move up or down.
Really?
Or,
okay.
Yeah, pick one that suits you.
Oh.
And these are all dealing with. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so for this is cute. Almost falls under the phobia type thing. What it is? It's a log with a plastic alligator with a pin bottle or a pill bottle in its mouth, but the expression on it's awesome. That's priceless.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I love it. Uh, let's see. So somebody put a comment down there. Someone apparently decided a bison 2 by itself was too boring, and geocachers appreciate that. And I agree.
Yes.
The more creative you can come up with things like that, absolutely the better for that. It's awesome. All right. Let's see what other goodies that we have here under Muggles. Dun, 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 glossary of terms. We've done that before. The different type of pens that you get. All right, I think we got enough on this one. Why don't we go
Yeah.
back and choose something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Google. Pick a number between 1 and 25.
Sure. 17.
See?
Uh-huh. All right.
That's 12,
13, 14. One more.
15, 16, 17. Oh, that's still Muggles. Do evil.
Evil. All right. Evil geocaches. We love them. We hate them. We love to hate them. There's a lot of cool things that you can do. All right. That one I don't think's a geocache, but I like the idea.
That's
Make
for
this easy.
cosplay.
Resident Evil T-Virus prop for your cosplay. Oh yeah, that's always cool. Some of the other standard ones, of course, are your the matchstick tubes. I had to think for half a second. Matchstick tube glued underneath a rock. Uh, Great place to put stuff. They actually had an extra area that it fits into to kind of give it a little extra shielding. I love stuff like that. Or they'll have the other thing where the hole will be drilled into the rock itself.
See, is that burying?
That's okay. So this gets into that interesting thing. One of the stuff that they came out with the guidelines now is that you can, with explicit permission from the landowner, bury a geocache. We didn't make this up. They just came out with this. We're not kidding. You have to tell the reviewer in the review process of your geocache, and it has to be on the cache page about how it was buried.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's opening up a whole can of worms compared to there was a hole that fit the matchstick holder and I put it in the hole.
Just saying.
All right.
Just throwing it
So
out there.
there are purists out there that say, and it's in the guidelines. If you use a tool to place the cache, that is considered burying. So take it for how it is. People like bending the rules. But as far as evil geocaches, putting a rock in a rock pile,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
yeah, that'll get you going until the fun factor leaves from that. Infamous pine cone. People really have to have some serious time on their hands,
Mm-hmm.
because I know people that have taken pine cones apart, got it, and glued it to the bison tube so that it looked back like a pine cone. That's some serious stuff in there.
Yeah.
That you can go. But there's nothing more. And then take it and put it in a pine tree, or worse, put it on the ground near something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different ways that you can do evil geocaches.
That one right there on the tree, that would scare the bejesus out of me.
All right.
That would scare the bejesus out of me, and I would not even get it.
What we're looking at is I would assume is a pine tree. It looks kind of like a pine tree. And there is a large rubber spider that is attached to the side of the tree. It said, one of the comments says, not your normal creepy crawler. And I'm not just talking about the size. If you look closely, you can see the camo nano hanging underneath it. Not a good geocache for anyone with arachnophobia. I have seen, and just to make people understand, the type of things when you go walking around, and why Amy has me walk in front of her when we're in the woods. I have seen spiders this big, and this is a good size. I would say tarantula sized
Yeah.
spider on the side of a tree. We have two out here that I've seen that are similar size to this. There is the great wolf spider, which is a small tarantula size, and then we have something called the huntsman. And the huntsman, for its eating habits, eats rodents, small birds, things like that. So it's
I would
big.
move out and burn the house down before I. Nope.
If you put one in the center of a
Mm-mm.
large dinner plate, the legs will touch the outsides all the way
Nope.
around.
There is no reason for an animal to be like that.
You're in their world. But I have actually done geocaching series that's based on phobias,
Mm-mm.
and you get all sorts of cool things like that. So, interesting stuff to think about.
No, it's not. Y'all can have that.
Oh yeah. Here's let's see. This one's kind of cute. It's a fly.
I'm
Basically,
not scared of flies.
I'm sorry, in Michigan, when you see basically what we're looking at is a bottom of a stop sign, and about 4 holes down is what looks like you could be a bee or a fly actually.
Hmm.
And it says evil, sneaky, placed in the correct setting. A lot of people would overlook this cache. Comes with logbook, not pictured. These are all attached with special plastic glue. So you've got it probably unscrews on the back or something where you can go through and do that. But yeah, I would say a lot of times I would look at it because I've been bitten by horseflies before,
Oh, I had too.
and those
In the
take out.
pool?
Oh, those will take
Oh,
out some meat,
God.
and this is about that
Those things will make you
size.
smack your mama.
Yes,
Some days you don't need the horsefly, but that's okay.
that's it. All right, let's see any other good ones that are in here that of course I do
I
always
love this one.
this meme is awesome. That moment when the GPS says the geocache is just 10 millimeters in front
10
of you, or
meters in
10
front of
meters
you.
in front of you,
And you're
and
on
you're
the
on,
edge of a cliff.
on the edge of a large cliff. Yes, one thing people don't realize with GPS units is that it does have but doesn't show altitude. So that's what you can run across. And matter of fact, when you are out and you mark your car, but you don't put tracking on, something like this can happen. You can sit there and say, your car is a quarter of a mile west of you. And then
And
you
it's
start
not.
looking, and there's either a swamp there,
Yeah.
or it's 400 feet up or 400 feet
Yeah.
down, or whatever. You really have to be careful with
And then you
altitude.
remember, I didn't do something right.
I should have turned left instead of turning
Yeah. Should
right.
have zigged instead of zagged.
Yeah. So okay. So that's what we have for muggles. Let's move back here, and
No, that was for evil.
or evil, I should say. Okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 25.
Sure.
Someone else's Google is going off.
19.
Now I didn't hear it because you were
19.
19. Okay. So it's 2 to the right of evil, which is muggles. Let's do it with kids.
Yeah.
All right. So Pinterest with kids.
One of the viewers has Google Home too, and
And
every
it's-
time you say it, it goes off too.
They do
His
that.
goes, his says 25 this time.
They do that on purpose. They had a thing not too long ago with Xbox because of the whatever the camera gizmos that you have on top of it, and they would put out commercials for Xbox,
Hmm.
and that would send off the thing, start up the game, and all the rest of it, and was driving people nuts. If you listen to like BBC America at certain times. I remember with Doctor Who, where it would say, "Okay, Siri, remind me the next time Doctor Who is gone," and it'll set a reminder for you.
Yeah.
So things like that. So for all the people with Google Home, I apologize, but I just thought it was a cool way of picking. Geocaching with kids, tons of stuff that you can do with it. You can have so much fun. The thing that I think with geocaching with kids, go ahead and check it out, Amy, is that swag is huge. If you're going to take kids out geocaching, if they haven't done it already, build a little, get a sandwich bag or a quart or a gallon size bag, plastic bag, and turn that into their swag bag, because kids love swag. They love
Yeah.
ammo boxes. They love regular and even small sized geocaches, because there is nothing like going in and having, I mean, I remember with Amanda when she was like 12 or 13, she absolutely insisted on having her swag bag, and it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
She would go, she would find the geocache, she'd find the item, like, ooh, I want to trade this for that,
Mm-hmm.
and go that way. And kids love it. And the other thing that I would highly recommend, if you are a geocacher, you don't have to. Nobody says, nobody's putting a gun to your head.
That's cute.
Bring a bunch of swag with you, so that when you get to a cache that doesn't have swag in it, throw a couple items in.
Yeah.
Make it for fun for the next person that comes through, and get for that. Now, what kind of things were you looking at, huh?
I was look. I was actually looking at those tennis balls,
Oh yeah.
but you can make your own swag.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is huge.
So
kids love
looking
that
at
too.
these little buggles right here,
Yeah.
they look nothing more like marbles with eyeballs on them.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, basically. And you can get those things cheap.
Yeah. Craft store, Michael's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it also has some little acorn marble necklaces and things like that. That's probably a little harder to make, but
Yeah, but so many
but how
baubles that
cool
you
is
can get
that?
with
There's more freaking spiders.
that. I know there's a lot of places.
Okay, now when you're out with kids,
Yes.
you need to teach them about the different types of poison sumac, ivy, and oak
Yes.
as well. So that's something they can learn early on. Like our nephew, he knows poison ivy
Oh yeah.
well because my brother is very allergic to it, so he teaches him to stay away from it.
Leaves a 3, let it be.
Yeah. Right here you got some bottle caps. Just take some kid friendly paint, or take a little bit of paint and paint the inside of them, bling them up a little bit.
Yep.
They would love that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
but there's tons of thing in Pinterest. If you don't even know where to start, there's plenty of guides in there that'll sit there and tell you 10 best things to do for taking kids out geocaching.
Here's some. It's Animal Tracks ABC flashcards.
That's neat.
So, and I didn't even know this existed. So you can actually teach them about animal tracks.
Yeah.
And
what
what
does this
to
track
look
look
for.
like? Yeah.
I don't think we have too many Uriels here.
No.
Or tapirs.
We've got voles.
We do have voles. They
snakes.
are the most evil things on the planet.
Yeah.
We got newts.
Yes.
We don't have lions or yak.
No yaks.
Or xenops.
Zebra would be cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So all around the world.
At any rate, so they're all around the world. Yeah, you can teach them a few. Make your own flashcards.
Well, the whole idea is to train kids so that when they go out by themselves, or when they go off in a group, or with their own kids when they get older, they understand the rules of the woods. And very important.
And I like this because there is, with children now in schools, there's so much bullying.
Yes.
And hate and things like that going on, that it's how to make kindness rocks.
All right.
So you take a rock, you paint it, wash it off, paint it with some black paint, write on it with a glow in the dark Sharpie, or paint a picture on it and write little things that here it says, be positive,
be mindful, spread love.
Yep. Enjoy life. Eat clean. That's a good one. And then there's also looks like it's a different language, but it's in the symbols and stuff. That
symbology that you can put into it.
So send a little bit of love around the world with these rocks. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You can just kind of put them around or what have you.
Well, that make great swag.
Yeah, or send
that
it
really
to your
is
friends,
great swag,
or great swag.
Kids will, actually adults love this stuff just as much as the kids.
But it's so important to just be nice.
Yes.
You know, I and myself included, I need to remind myself, because some of the people that I come in contact with are just stupid.
So,
this is cute, cool.
I see. This is what happens with Pinterest.
Yeah. Look at that though. Get some nuts and bolts, write numbers on it.
That's neat. So you make your own little
A busy bag spin and spell is what it's called.
all right, call it
So,
that. So basically what you have is a bolt, you probably about 3/8. That's probably about maybe 3 inches long, and you get some 3/8 nuts to go on
uh-huh.
it, and then you put letters and number combinations on each of the nuts.
See, if you put letters on there, you could play a game and say how many words can each person spell.
Make out of that, or numbers you can use for a geocache.
Yes, exactly.
And if you want to use a
Yep.
cheap, what do they call that? With out of oh, drawing a blank. You know the thing that it's a tube that does just that. You can, if you make the combination, it'll open up and something.
Oh, with the paper
The
inside.
codex.
Yes.
The codex.
Yes. Yes.
So this actually
I'm like,
kind
all I
of
could
looks.
think of was the rose, whatever it was.
This looks like a cheap man's codex. That I think if you did it right, you could actually set this up as a puzzle cache
Yeah.
and actually use
Yeah.
nuts and bolts. I'm actually kind of encouraged about this one. This one's
Yeah.
really cool.
I like that one
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right, good stuff. Let's give drive the people nuts, and let's give Google Home another shot here. Okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 25.
Coming right up.
She's so nice.
I know. See what Starcatcher says.
18.
Boy, she is just staying up in that other.
Yeah, that's what I told you. She won't go to the top.
All right, let's see.
Let's do fairy houses.
Okay, fairy houses it is. All right, I'm gonna let you drive this one.
He got 4. I say we go with his next time.
All right,
Okay.
fairy houses from plastic bottles.
Yes, and a Pringles can. That
Very
looks a little
neat.
more difficult,
Yeah,
but we'll start with this one, I guess.
fairy houses from plastic bottles and an X-Acto knife. Full tutorial with photos of kids decorating the houses. Fun, imaginative idea.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
pretty neat.
kind of cool, unique.
Yep. Um,
Is that like a full size tree that was up there?
dude, I like this.
Okay, go for it. Now you can go. What we're looking at are fairy houses made out of stones. It looks like riverbed stones, the flat
yes,
ones.
yes, flat rock.
You can go to your department store, and in their lawn and garden area, a lot of them sell packages of stones,
hmm
and you can use that just for, like they had here, ways of making fairy houses or decorative things for fairy houses.
And you can get the houses themselves somewhere else,
right,
like at Michael's or something.
yeah,
Paint it so it's waterproof or water resistant,
right.
and then do this. Put
Yeah.
the rocks on the outside.
Yeah, and they make great geocaches. I mean, this is something that, like I said, nothing brings a bigger smile to my face than to see creative things that people come up with when it comes to geocaching.
That's very cute.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yes.
Looks like popsicle sticks. I'm not quite sure what they
This-
used with it.
This is popsicle sticks.
All right, so you've got different
Very
kind of,
stock.
you've got different types of window doors.
Yeah.
And doors themselves, and you can be as elaborate as you want to get with these.
Look at this.
Little tree,
Little swing.
that is so cute.
Now, this I like because somebody took the time and that one too.
Go ahead.
And did a little window and a door and a little pathway and a bridge and
Yeah,
stuff.
and you can make these things too. I mean,
Yes.
it's so cool. You can go to any
Yes.
craft store. Michael's is the one that we have. They got a whole section on different things that you can use for making little villages and stuff for that.
All right, now we have gnomes.
And then there's the gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Out of twigs,
yeah. I mean, how cool is that?
some paint, and
Again, great swag.
yep.
Very, very cool things
Yep.
that you could have inside for swag.
Okay, here's another stone fairy house. I'm not going to get into all those fancy ones. But that's just a plastic, like 2-liter bottle.
Yeah,
Cut.
with pebbles.
Yeah, with glued pebbles on the outside.
Yeah.
So that's pretty easy. Time consuming, but it would be easy, I would think.
Oh yeah. just tons and tons.
Oh, there's a little log cabin.
Yeah, creativity is awesome with things like that.
Oh, and a seesaw.
And a seesaw. I mean, you can be as elaborate as you want.
That looks like Legos.
Yeah.
Okay, mason jar fairy house.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
Yeah,
You paint the outside of the jar. You get some moss, some little flowers,
and a unicorn apparently.
and apparently a unicorn with
There
a
you
fairy
go.
next to it. Yeah. So here's the ingredients as they put: one battery tea light, one marshmallow mini,
Okay,
tool.
you can leave the marshmallow out.
Okay,
Eat that.
tools and equipment. One mason jar. Other is air dry clay, white or off white, red craft paint, white craft paint, dairy fairy door, faux moss, hot glue gun and or gorilla glue. I would suggest gorilla glue if you're going to go outside. Little flower decorations, mini square or circle cutters.
Okay, now something that they brought up in the chat room. It
Uh-huh.
says use a plastic mayo jar instead of glass. I
Yes.
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yes.
Now, if this is going to be decoration inside,
Go for it.
go for it with the glass.
Yeah.
But you are absolutely right. Do not use glass for outside caches.
Now,
please.
how cool would this be? Now, you've got the electric tea light that they were talking about for the inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have it,
because they got little windows cut out right there.
you get one of the solar ones because you can get a
Yeah.
string of 10 lights.
Yeah, but you won't paint the top of it then.
No, you'd have it
Yeah.
off the back or some way that it can get light. And that's what I would do is I would have it on the back of it.
Yeah.
Facing outward. And then that way, if somebody comes by, it's like almost a night cache.
Yeah,
because
that'd
it's
be
glowing.
cute.
How cool would that be? And those lights last for like 6 hours or so.
Okay, now here's one of my favorites.
Okay.
You just got the moss and the tree looking
Little
and the
shells.
yes, exactly. And the little shells right here.
That's cute.
So I really like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And according to this, no, that's
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
all right. Yeah, it said use the shells for a smokestack, a small funnel for the roof with artificial moss pressed on after painting with glue attached to a small piece of thick branch.
Yeah.
And voila.
So I mean, you can use whatever you find outside, but
cool.
you just have to give it a haircut.
All right.
Use moss.
Why don't we go back one more and we'll give Google Home one more shot and
Okay.
we'll call it a day. Go ahead.
Okay, Google. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
Sure. 5.
Give her less boundaries. Give her more boundaries. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. Girl Scouts.
All right.
I want to do bottle caps.
We'll
Though.
do bottle caps then. Random is random.
I don't like her number. Yeah, he got 4 again, so we did 4. Okay.
Bottle caps. Now the preforms are
Yes.
awesome. You can do a lot of things with preforms. You can order them online. They're relatively inexpensive. And basically what they are is the 2-liter bottles before they get made into the full size. They get transported in this little teeny tiny itty bitty preform.
Mhm.
And they are wonderfully waterproof. And you can make them into geocaches. You can camouflage them. Excellent thing to do with this. There are bottle cap hides out there are evil.
Mhm.
Bottle cap hides are evil because what they'll do is they'll decorate them or they'll just worse keep them like a regular bottle cap.
Mhm.
And inside is a little logbook that they put to it. And that is just evil. Evil. But
Yeah.
I know what caught your eyes,
The ladybugs?
ladybugs.
Yeah, it did.
But again, swag. I mean,
Yeah.
all the
Well,
things
look
that
at
you
all
in
that.
here.
I mean, you can put little sayings on the inside.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
now this I like because you can actually create
Maps.
create maps of places you've been.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking.
Well, they're cool things. Map fridge magnets.
Yeah.
Use large caps to make tree decorations for Christmas with hometown part of the map.
Yeah. I mean, or you could have an event that an event around the area, and people who are from out of town can take one home.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Have them. Yeah, get just little ones.
Yeah. It'd just be a
of the
little
area.
gift or something for everybody.
That's
you
a
know.
cool idea. I like that.
Here's some coasters.
And again, great swag ideas.
Yeah.
Evil geocache ideas. I like the
Yeah.
pies.
I figured you might.
That and
Yeah,
I'm
see that
hungry.
that map right there? You could do all kinds of things with a map.
Now those are on the outside, isn't that the one on the right?
Yes, yes. But these are on the
All
inside.
right, click the other
Yeah.
one. I want to see the
This
outside
one?
one. Yeah, I want to see
Okay.
the outside ones. Okay, so map magnets of places you have been.
Mm-hmm. See,
I
that's
think
what I'm
that's an
saying.
awesome idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you could do the major town like Baltimore.
Right.
Um, cut out Baltimore and glue it on your bottle cap, put a magnet on the inside, you're done.
Well, I'm thinking because I'm looking at some of the shadow boxes that we have, and ones that I know at like Michael's where they've got them. That would just be itching to have for geocaching all the different major places that you went with made out of bottle caps in the shadow
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
and to do that, I think that would be awesome.
You can do it on rocks. I
Yeah,
like that idea
yeah,
for some things.
yep.
Um,
So yeah, just
yeah.
tons of things you can get
I
through.
mean, like if you went to a different country, this is something I would do.
Yeah, and there again, that's a shadow box with the
Yeah,
map of where you went.
yeah. Um,
Because that's what I did for one of the things that I have on the back wall. It doesn't have a map; it used to, but
mhm,
it's all the trackables,
mhm,
the chains, the different different things that can be trackable but don't have a trackable number on them,
mhm.
like my peace sign from Geo Woodstock, things like that. I've got a whole shadow box of all those. That you can do the same thing, put a map in the back and all the stuff for that. So you can get really
Mhm.
creative with all the stuff that you go
Yeah,
from
you
there.
can make kid swag, um, paint it up, put some googly eyes on it, and you're
Oh yeah.
done. Yep.
All right. So good stuff. Lots of
Yep.
things you can do, and you can see how quickly, guys, the gals already know this, but how many different things and how you can just binge
Oh, look at that.
on
I could do
Pinterest
Pinterest all
and
day long.
just see things that'll just blow your mind that you
Oh, look
never
at them little
expected.
frogs.
All right. Well, we're running late, so we're gonna have
Oh,
to.
okay.
I'm taking the mouse back. So,
Whatever.
anyways,
Let me move it back
that's
up.
yeah.
Let
Just
me move it back up.
that's all the different things that they've got going. But I thought it would be cool tonight to just get some ideas and to use Google Home to kind of give us a little randomness of different things to go. And again, all you have to do is go to Pinterest, type in geocaching, and then you have a zillion different subjects that you can
Mm-hmm.
choose from and
I
go
may
from
do that
there.
tomorrow at work.
Just don't get caught.
That's
Uh,
how much work I have.
let's move on. You know, when a 70-pound dog wants to move around underneath your table, you really know it. It's hard not to
Yeah,
miss.
she stepped on me several times. I'm like, that's all right. And I stepped on her and she didn't like it.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because she thinks she's in charge.
Your line.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits reboot shows running along. Stop it, Ellie. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts in your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippets, we thank you.
Also, please,
Now you
please,
can
please
give.
consider. It costs money to do podcasts, and it we can't do it without you. And we love and thank all the contributing members of the GeoSnippets Reboot podcast universe. And you can become a member as well. Simply go to geosnippets.com, and up on the right hand side of the screen is either our PayPal or our Patreon logos. Just click on there, and it'll give you the information that you have. If you can throw a couple bucks each month to us, we would greatly appreciate it. And again, it literally helps keep things going. And we want to thank all the folks that do donate.
Stop.
It is a very much appreciated effort, and we do thank you for that. All right, moving on. All right. It is time for the geocaching cash stash. Let me explain what that is. We have some of the best companies in the geocaching world, and quite frankly, they
Ellie,
want to
quit licking me.
tell. I'm sorry.
I said, Ellie, quit licking me.
Ah, we have some of the best geocaching companies in the world. And quite frankly, they want to tell you fine folks about the products that they provide. So what they do is they send them to us. We turn them into prizes, usually coveting very much because we want them, but we can't because they're prizes for you all. Just saying. So that's the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cash Stash. For last week's show, wife Amy, what is the prize?
From cash-advance.com, it's the 50 trail tax.
Okay, 50 trail tax. This is really cool. These are wonderful for night caches. They are reflective. They do not glow in the dark. They are reflective tax that you can use to help people with their night cache. They are a lot of fun, and you can be really creative with that. So those we are giving away. The question was,
Will an ultraviolet light make a reflective light light up like a standard flashlight would?
almost like what I was talking about.
And the answer is no. Reflective does not mean glow in the dark.
Correct.
It just reflects back the light that you shine on it.
So if you take a flashlight to a reflective light at night, it will reflect very nicely. If you take a blue light, it will not reflect.
No. And it will.
And it's just makes things a whole lot harder when you're trying to find something. So remember that when you go out looking for a geocache at night, to take a flashlight and a blue light,
Blue flame.
a blue
That's
flame.
really hot. I
It
think.
is.
Isn't it?
It hurts your fingers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's hot or cold. I don't know.
All right. So let me get up here. We have our GeoSnippits tablet that is used for, and I'm going to bring this up. Here we go. And I'm letting it bring up now. Wow, it's running slow today. Like really, really slow. All right, it's still going. So, anyways, we're bringing this up, and what we have is our emails from the people that are sent in. We also have the random number generator
That's really slow.
that is running exceptionally slow for some reason.
Why don't you get back out and come?
I think I will.
Well, that's odd.
All right, so here's this. I'm going to hit search, and we will try this again for 214. Sorry about the delay on there. For some reason, it was just taking its time coming up. So, all right, so we have here, we also have the random number generator. Now, wife Amy's going to flip her coin.
Really?
Yep. She's going to flip the coin. And if the random number is 4, it's not 4. And she flipped heads, then we will count down 1, 2, 3, 4 from that. If it's tails, we'll count up to the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4 and go from there. So, wife Amy, yep, I'm going to let you go from here.
It was heads.
It was heads. All right, so let me get my random number generator, and we are going to give it to, let's see. I like the name. If you want to write.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This goes to Cash Addict Mel.
Yeah,
Cash Addict Mel. You are the winner of the reflective tags. Let me know what happens with those. If you go out and put them out, send some pictures our way. I'd love to see what you have set up for that. Do me a favor, Mel, if you would send to me. Just put to gsreboot@gmail.com. Send to me winner episode 214 and send us your address, and we will get those sent out to you. So that's how the cash stash works. If you don't play, you can't win. And let me tell you how you can win, because we do give away a lot of really, really good prizes. To be eligible to win a prize from the cash stash, all correct answers must be in for tonight's episode, which is 12 noon Wednesday, September 14th. That's next Wednesday, 2017. Again, September 14th. Email your answers to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's GSREBOOT@gmail.com. Subject Q1 episode 215. Again, subject Q1 episode 215. All correct answers will be put in a drawing. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we'll also have a second prize. Sorry, folks, not tonight. But I'm going to hand you my pen. There you are. So we're going to jump right into the prize for tonight, and I'm going to put this on here. It's from Coins and pins.com. Go. And it is a beautiful geocoin with the compass rose. And it's gorgeous. This is something you're going to want in your collection. Let me get it here.
Yeah, because he just got it right before the show.
Literally right before the show. It is beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. It's still in the package. I'm not even going to take it out, but it has a gorgeous, you can see the colors of the compass rose on the end. And on the back is a ship that has different, I'm thinking those are parts of constellations. There's Hydra, there's Navis, there's Argo, and a really, really beautiful ship with made with a copper finish to it. It's gorgeous. And this is something you're going to want in your collection, but you got to play to win. And so to do that, again, just send it in to us for tonight's question, and you will be put in the drawing for winning that. And wife Amy, what is the question?
True or false? Are geocaches that do not have a logbook inside them legal via the geocaching guidelines? Example is a magnet geocache where the back of the magnet is the logbook.
Okay. That may be something we actually discussed tonight.
Very.
So we've got our geocaches that do not have a logbook inside, true or false. Geocaches that do not have a logbook inside them, legal via the geocaching guidelines. Example is a magnet geocache where the back of the magnet is a logbook. Is that legal technically according to the guidelines?
Yeah.
All right.
So
good stuff. All right, folks, let's finish this up and we will move on. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. We hit Pinterest every once in a while just because it always has new stuff in there. You show up a week later, you'll see all sorts of new things that you never saw before. And we just like hitting that every once in a while because it brings up a lot of interest from the different members in the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast universe, and they like hearing about it as well. Start sending those seeds in their heads of different things that they might want to do. All right, please consider becoming a patron of our show. And finally, please, please, please tell other geocachers about our show so we can have even more people join in on the fun each and every week with us. We greatly do appreciate that.
We want to thank our sponsors, gxproxy.com and coinsandpins.com, plus our amazing patrons. Thanks to Andy Headhardhat Smith, and thanks to everyone watching and the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right. Special thank you to wife Amy and the cats and Emmy, or Ellie, I should say, the Geo puppy that's underneath the table, and all you fine folks for coming by
want a cat
each and every week. We appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you next time on the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. See you out on the trails, folks. Bye-bye. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast, right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippets.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, Google Play, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or use our website Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a Headhardhat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2017 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And clear. So, folks, hope you had a great time. We sure did. And be safe out there, especially for the folks that are on the East Coast. Out on the West Coast, they got their heat. Everybody's got something. Be careful out there.
Careful with the fires and stuff.
Yep. So we will see you next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. Bye-bye, folks.